Hey guys, welcome back. It's Jaden at Mazda here at Riverside Mazda, and today we have the newly refreshed 2024 MX-5 Miata in this Grand Touring form. So let's go ahead and check out everything that's new. So starting off head on with the front, the Miata, this is going to be that ND3, getting a soft update before the eventual NE model. But from the front, we still got the same aggressive styling here. We can see the very long hood and the angular lights. We can see this one compared to old Miata doesn't look as happy. Maybe this one's smirking because he just beat you in a race. But from the front, right away, what we can tell is we have these LED daytime running lights now. We did not have that before. They did have a little thing down there in the corner part of the headlight, but a newly improved design here, and of course still LED bulbs in the front. From a styling point, everything else is still the same up here. You still get this specific one has the aero package, so you do get the high gloss black splitter here. But new for the Grand Touring, only in the automatic trim, is the addition of adaptive cruise control. So now you have, for greater long distance driving, that's nice. It's tucked away in a fine spot, so it's really not too hard on the eyes, and it looks great, and it doesn't compromise the front of the vehicle. But the front overview, I think the LED makes it look that much more sharp and more modern. And this, I think, was debuted in, I want to say 2015. So even in 2024, it's still got a very nice and timeless design. Moving from the front to the side, gonna check out some side styling here. What's new? Starting off with the wheels, we have this new black, kind of with the silver alloy finish look on this, which I actually fancy these. They look a little aftermarket, but I think the style suits this car really well. I know there's a trend of black and silver now, but it's a great look. Nice classic 5-spoke design. As far as the tires, still 17-inch wheels. Tire width is about 205, and then a 45 series sidewall. So perfect if you ask me for the size of this car. Of course, we have vented rotors as well. In your Grand Touring manual trims, and then of course your club trims, suspension-wise, you are going to get that Bilstein setup. And then new for this model year is a revised LSD for even greater stability and driver intervention. So you're going to have more control over this car. And not only that, this actually has a newer mode called track mode. Once again, in your manual GT trims and then club trims as well. That's just going to be an enhanced reduced traction mode, basically going to let you go full throttle, not going to cut any power unless it really thinks that you need it. I'll go ahead and go more over that in depth in a little bit, but let's go ahead and continue on, look at some more styling. From a side point of view, colors for this year, we do have new colors. This specific one is not new, but they do have the Zircon Sand, which I will kind of flash up here so you guys can take a look at that. That's new for the Miata, but they've had that since, I want to say 2023 on the CX-50. But styling wise, once again, this is going to have the aero pack, so it's going to have our black side sill extensions, and when we get to the back, you'll go ahead and be able to see the rear extension as well. But going from the top, since this is the automatic, this part of the roof is actually white, but in your manual trims, you'll get the full black roof. And then we have a black Deglich spoiler here, and of course, new LED tail lights. So I don't know if you guys know, but the old ones used to actually be down here. That is now a reflector with a little fake vent. I wish it was real, but not a huge deal. But yeah, the reverse lights used to be down here. Now they're in the center of the tail lights, and then the little thin strip, that's where turn signal is. So I like the design. Once again, makes it very fresh. Just breathe some life into this car. And you can see, once again, that little black spoiler for the rear, or rear diffuser, sorry. And this is just, once again, very timeless design. Only thing here, they still have the old-fashioned antenna, even though we have our shark fin right there. A little bit of a miss in my opinion, but overall this car is still a great looking car. Since we're in the back here, let's go ahead and check out the trunk. So you do have a release on the bottom and the key fob, and on the inside as well. But getting in here, we can see kind of right away, not too much space in here. You can fit maybe one carry-on. If you golf, you definitely can't fit golf bags in here. I know that's a general question I tend to get, but no golf bags in there. Maybe if you're 6 years old and your clips are super small, but yeah, for a regular person, not too much size in here. But you know what, that's the idea of the car, right? Everything is light and nimble. As you could see, there's not even any liner on the trunk, and that's because this is optimized to be as lightweight as possible, because this is a driver's car. Here we are underneath the hood of the MX-5 Miata, where not too much has changed. We still have the inline 4 longitudinally mounted. Of course, if you kind of look down there, you might be able to see the axle. But from the perspective of the wheel, this is that front mid-engine setup is pushed far as back as possible for that weight distribution, right? Power-wise, we're still looking at about 181 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque with a pretty healthy 7,500 RPM red line. So, I mean, this motor is just one that's going to want to push you. Of course, they're very driver focused, so you can see everything's exposed, no engine cover here. Valve cover is full aluminum. You do have your coil pack, so I do appreciate when we can actually see the motor, which is not what you're going to get a lot these days with all this newer tech. But a very compact engine bay. As far as accessibility, if you plan to do a lot of work yourself, this is very easy to get in and out of, and then navigate around. Since this is the automatic, you actually don't have the front strut tower brace, but in the manual trims and the club trims, that's where you'll get that. You have 2 connection points on both sides, and that's pretty cool as well. And since we checked out the front, let's go ahead and check out the inside here. Of course, you have keyless entry, little button you press right there, and it opens on up. But brought back, since I believe it was 2022 the last they did, is now you have a tan interior option, which I really like. It works amazing with this white here, so you can see the tan leather extends to the door pocket and then the armrest as well. And then the upper of the door is going to be the exterior paint of the car, which they brought inside, which I really like. You can also see we have little silver door sill plates here. I wish they said MX-5, but that's still a nice classic design. And then same tan Napa leather seats, which look absolutely gorgeous. You see we have a nice stitching right here that goes down the middle of the seats. And these are going to have the Bose speakers in the headrest, which just makes the volume and the listening experience in this car that much better. All right, and here we are on the inside of the MX-5 Miata, checking out some of the newer features. So we're going to start off in front of us. Steering wheel here, once again, it's nice leather wrap with this nice gray accent stitching. I feel like it's not too thick, not too thin, and it is easy to grip and handle. Here you can see adaptive cruise control is now right there. But you have actually a revised gauge cluster, so it's not dramatically different. They just simplified the way the graphics look, so it's easier to read. 7500, obviously red line there. It's just much more straightforward, and of course the LED on the left hand side there. Obviously the star of the show is the upgraded infotainment, which, thank God, it's been way too long. 24, this has the Mazda updated Connect with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto with the touchscreen capability. The last one was really outdated and really slow, but these newer ones much more responsive. Still going to control with your wireless, your dial down here, but if you are using CarPlay, then it is touchscreen. But new for actually the first time ever in the Mazda, in this MX-5, you're going to get the Amazon Alexa edition. So that's something that's really new. I like that a lot. Mazda obviously trying to push the envelope, get more technology in their cars. We'll see this in this car and in the CX-70 that's coming out this spring. So yeah, if you have a chance to go to the dealer, you can check that out. New Alexa integration. But as far as the whole layout here, once again, since this is the tan, it's got the whole interior done in the tan. So all around on the lower half into the door with the white, it's just amazing contrast. They actually added more padding here to the sides and then in the center armrest console for a more comfortable experience. But once again, soft touch everywhere, so really thoughtful. I think the design of this is just, they knocked it out of the park. The bezels are simple, but you know what? No need to overstyle. You can see down here, heated seats. They did just introduce USB-C there. And then, of course, since this is the automatic 6-speed, you do have the sport mode with this as well. And top operation still the same. Takes about 13 seconds, give or take, to put that up. I'll go ahead and demonstrate for you guys so you can see how long that takes. So all you gotta do to put the top up is, if you want to, just press it down and then up. We're gonna hold that, and then this top part actually folds back into a little compartment right behind the driver's head, and our little buttress goes right back down. And then there we are. So now we have this open air experience with our pass-through in the back, and that wasn't too bad, pretty quick. Obviously the soft top's a lot faster. You just pull the handle and it's just right on through. But obviously the convenience of this, you get better insulation on the road, the coupe look when it's up, and it's very nice. Some more small differences here. Most people may or may not notice. we now have the auto dimming rearview mirror for the first time with HomeLink here attached at the bottom. So that's new. They didn't have that before. So that's a cool little look. You still have regular lights here, no LED, so that's a shame. Let me turn that on. Still regular lights, no LED, wish that was there, but not a huge deal. But overall, the center console is largely the same. We do have our paddle shifters here for going through that. Once again, 6-speed automatic. And if it's honestly broke, you don't fix it. And this is very, very nice as far as the layout, and really impressed with the nice updates for this year. But that's enough looking. Let's go ahead and get on the road and test the revised steering rack, which I'll get into, and the LSD, and see if we can feel a difference. Okay, so here we are driving the 2024 MX-5 Miata in this convertible hardtop spec, and it's great to be back in the driver's seat of one of these cars, man. It's just such a fun time always. And the first thing you notice right away while you're driving, it largely feels the same, but from a visual aspect, now the bigger screen here, the 8-inch screen, that does make a big difference. It's much more sharp, definitely a lot more responsive. Obviously you have the touchscreen capability while you're driving now because this has the new infotainment. And then in the gauges, they are a little bit bigger, a little bit more clear, so easier to see. But just from a usability standpoint, that already sticks out, and I really like that a lot. But let's go ahead and get to the drives as we come up to some turns here. I'm going to put it in a little sport mode, and it is really responsive, right? With these, you know, they just want to keep pulling all the way up to 7,500. So I mean, we're just taking some corners really light here, and it's just hugging it, no problem. And you can definitely feel that LSD kind of start to work, as well as that kinematic posture control in this vehicle here. So yeah, I mean, handling this is it's just so much fun. And as we come around these tighter corners, just get on it again. And this car really just kind of eggs you on to keep on going. But from a usability standpoint, outside of just the handling, from a comfort level, the ride itself actually is really smooth on these cars. You don't really feel too much of the road. And even with the top down like it is right now, it's definitely not too loud here in the cabin, and you don't have to struggle for volume. But even still, we do have these speakers in our headrest, so if we are making a phone call, that's not too bad. What I did notice here, you still have the traffic sign recognition. You'll see in there showing the posted speed limit, but if you have like stop signs and things like that, it'll also show up in here. So for a daily driver, this is, you know, even, it's pretty good still. You know, if you don't have kids or you don't need a bunch of space, these get some pretty great gas, and you'll average about 30 miles per gallon on these, get about 35, 36 or so on the highway. So you definitely can make this a multi-purpose vehicle outside of just, you know, some fun weekend driving. All right, so here we are at a complete stop. Of course, you know what that means. It's time for a quick 0 to 60. Gonna test, is this one any quicker or slower than previous years? So there's not a launch mode or anything, so we're just gonna do a little brake boost. Foot on the brake, hold it at 2,000, and little to no wheel spin. It's off pretty quick. Already up at that 7,500, and we are at 60. So that was pretty quick. I believe the official time they quote is like 5.9 or something like that. But when you're in the car, because it's so light and it's such an engaging experience, it feels like you're just flying through the gears here. But just as important as that 0 to 60, we're gonna go ahead and test that emergency braking here. So we're at 40 miles an hour, and we're gonna hit a full emergency stop, and 3, 2, 1. And that stops really quickly with no lockup at all. Visually though, I am really impressed with this tan interior. I think it really goes great with this white. I wish I would have done something different with the dash. The black, it's cool, it's a nice contrast, but you know, with the doors, it doesn't blend that great. But we do have, obviously, since it's the Grand Touring, nice aluminum finishes here. Down there, of course, your USB-Cs, because that's new for this year as well. So, I mean, this cabin is just a pleasant place to be. The ND2, of course, we know it's going to have, you know, a couple more years left that they're going to try to squeeze out before the NE comes out, probably as a 2027 model year, 2026. I mean, if we're lucky. So I think this is a great, nice little swan sign in this car, and it just got just the updates it needs to still feel very fresh and relevant in this 2024 market. All right, guys, and that was our review on the 2024 MX-5 Miata. Let me know what you guys think. Are these nice updates for that 24 model year? Would this make you consider getting one or trading your older one in for that newer infotainment perhaps? But leave you guys comments below what you guys want to see next, and we'll see you on the next one.